Right, Ronnie, I went on Twitter and I asked everyone, what do you want me and Ronaldo to debate? Should I just go straight off the tweet and just...
Straight off
the tweet. Here we go. Alex Cuffin says, is signing Manu Kone and Rasmus Højlund and money to fill in other areas a more successful summer than a Kane or Osimhen, and Frankie de Jong or Bellingham?
Nope. Because one player in football, as much as it's team sport, can have almost a bigger effect if their quality levels are a little bit higher than going a little bit cheaper, just can fill more areas.
Yeah, I think two of those four would be. And do you know what? You can take two, and I'll take the two you don't want, and I'll be fine.
Yeah, come on, football's a game of fine margins. Do you know what I mean?
I will take either of those. Ben says Shaw and Malacia. Don't think there's that much between them.
I disagree. I think Malacia is very raw still. And I think he offers absolutely zero from what I've seen going forward, and he isn't crazily comfortable in possession. I've said this a lot on Twitter and got hate for it, but I think he's a decent defensive player. He's average on the ball. I think there's a little bit more to come from him.
I think we saw him being good on the ball when we were scouting him, when we was linked with him and we started looking at him.
I think he just looks very attentive and sure sometimes on the ball.
I think he's settling in. Relax, chill. He'll come good. Lee says, if Ten Hag can have one former United player from the past, who would he want in this team? So not who do you want? Who do you think Ten Hag would want? Who do you think he looks at and goes, yes?
Van Persie. I'm just going straight for a striker. So I'm thinking Van Persie.
The fact he's Dutch probably does really.
And the fact that he's Dutch.
Loves a Dutch buy, doesn't he?
So I'm going to say Van Persie.
He definitely shops in that shop.
Yeah, probably.
Or Rude.
Oh, I was thinking Rude first, but then I thought Van Persie probably a little bit more suited.
Van Persie's all-round game was a little bit better. Rude was just an absolute ruthless in-the-box predator, where I think Van Persie probably did. Who pressed better? Might be Rude, you know. Van Persie was a little bit more languid, wasn't he? I think Rude gets after it.
It's crazy now when you talk debating strikers, one of the key things you talk about is their pressing and not their ability to put the ball in the net.
Rude did both.
Do you know what I mean?
Rude did both. Rude was our first transitional striker from having
This is how you get into the defensive forward debates like Jesus and Roberto Firmino. No, but I'm on about when people talk about strikers now, and one of the things they come up with is, how good does he press?
But Rude, we've got to think about, we used to play 4-4-2 and variations thereof, two striker systems. We went from York and Cole to Rude on his ones. And our whole pressing game and all that. Because United pressed. Like, people forget how much United pressed in the 90s and the 2000 transition. Rude got about. So that's an interesting one. Should penalties be taken by goalkeepers only?
No.
I think the penalty should be taken by who was fouled. If you're going to amend anything with penalties.
I think that could actually be a decent little introduction. Like, if you win the penalty, you take the penalty.
You're the one that was... the reason why we have the penalty kick is because this is a goal-scoring opportunity and you being fouled. But what happens when it's a handball? The one who shot?
Yep. Exactly.
It's quite easy, I guess, isn't it?
Easy.
Next season's captain?
I'm going to go for Varane.
I think it's about 5 in the mix.
Varane. I'd go for Varane. I'm a bit traditional. I do like my captains being
clubmen,
defenders.
All right, okay. I was going to say, I like them being people with a lot of experience at the club. The problem is, Varane's been there longer than Martinez and Casemiro. They'd be in the conversation for me, but I don't want to give anyone a captaincy after they've only been here a year, which means that you're looking at Bruno or De Gea. And I think that's the 5 you're looking at, maybe Marcus. I don't think Marcus is captain.
I don't think he's captain material.
So you're going Varane?
I'm going Varane.
Just to give it, I think it'd be Bruno.
Probably will be, but I'd like it to be either Varane, Martinez or Casemiro. And if you're thinking about longevity at the club, I know it's not much in it, I'd say Varane.
For longevity, I think you got more chance of getting more out of Martinez. But we'll see. Does Mason Greenwood ever play for United again?
More than likely, it looks like, yeah.
I think you're right. I don't think the club have got much choice. I think they'll be damned and criticised whatever they do from here on in.
And they obviously don't have a clue what to do at the moment.
3 in, 3 out to be title contenders next season.
3 out, Maguire.
Yep.
For Kim Min-jae.
Are you just doing straight swaps? Oh, I like that. Yeah, go on. Let's do
Mc-
that. Upgrades. 3
yes.
upgrades.
I'd say McTominay for Frankie de Jong.
Wow.
And
honestly, what an upgrade that is.
And I'd say Weghorst for Harry Kane.
I don't think you're going to improve at centre-half as a first choice. I think you can improve the squad. But I'm going to say Wan-Bissaka for Selic at right back. McTominay for Bellingham. Oh, what an upgrade that is. And I'm going to say Marshall for Jonathan David.
Okay. I think there's not much between Marshall and Jonathan David.
There's a lot between Marshall and Jonathan
apart
David.
From availability.
I know you guys give us your free upgrades. That's a good one. I like that, free upgrades. Give us your free upgrades in the comments. Signing of the season so far for United.
Casemiro
Or Martinez.
Either of the two, you can't go wrong. But
I can't really split them.
But Casemiro's had an impact that's crazy, coming in a position that United have lacked in that centre defensive midfield area for a long, long time.
I think the ability at centre half from Martinez has just been revolutionary. FA Cup or Europa League? Give me what you think we'll win and what you would rather us win.
I think we win the Europa League.
What would you rather us win?
I'd rather us win the FA Cup though, because I feel like we've not won that in a little while.
Enough.
We're not winning enough.
I don't truly care about the Europa League. Yeah. I do truly care about the FA Cup. And what I would also say is, it's going to be City in the final. Probably. Very, 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 and almost certainly. Can you imagine the emotional roller coaster that FA Cup final is going to be?
Yeah.
That is an FA Cup final that is going to dwarf the Super Bowl in terms of views. That is going to be absolutely monumental FA Cup final. And I'm going to be watching it like this.
There's literally... I don't think there literally is much... I don't think there's much more viewed, unfortunately, than the Super Bowl. So I feel like you stretched it there.
Manchester United versus Manchester City in the Premier League does more views than the Super Bowl.
So the FA Cup final definitely will. But I just don't know whether my heart can take that.
Mine definitely can't. I'm gonna have to wean off Red Bull for about a month ahead of that. Otherwise, my heart was gonna explode. That's gonna be minging. Let us know if you think that's gonna happen. How you see that going? Give us your free upgrades. Let us know all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.